What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd.
Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Chad, I hope you had a good week. And with that being said, let's get into our first topic. But first, cheers.
Oh, buddy.
Go.
It's just funny because these past couple of weeks, when you've been bringing it in, I don't know if you can hear me. Your headphones are off.
We can hear you.
But you had less
It went up my nose.
Oh, gross.
Oh.
You've had like less energy and excitement when you're like, welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast. And it just feels very NPR. And it just makes me laugh every time.
I just have my mother-in-law and the baby out there. I was trying to be quiet, and then I just coughed all over the place super loud. Oh, fuck, that hurt, dude.
It sounded painful, and I was like, oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh.
Well, while you catch your...
Thing.
Oh, fuck, bud. One thing that we started doing a pre-show. For any of our listeners that want to become a premium subscriber, just head on over to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. At any level of the subscription, you get access to our pre-show. It's just us talking about random things, supernatural things, science-y stuff, conspiracy theories. The list goes on, and we have a list of what we're going to continue with. But this week we talked about mummies. Not like the historical scientific proof that mummies have been buried, but the supernatural aspect of said mummies.
Like cursed mummies.
Yeah. Like the movie The Mummy.
Oh my god, that hurts so bad.
All of them. But yeah, again, that's at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. So go subscribe there, and you get access to all those. And you can tell us what you want us to talk about. And if we know nothing, we'll look into it, or we'll improv that shit. Let's get into that first topic, though.
Yeah.
Jake, what do we have this week?
Oh, Season 2, Episode 1 of House of the Dragon dropped on Sunday. And it did not disappoint. And the one thing that I said it on here last week, I was like, it'd be really cool if I heard this. It's not my own theory, but I heard that Rhaenyra was going to have literally no dialogue until the very end of the episode, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
She literally said nothing until the last...
Well, it wasn't the end of the episode, but she only says 4 words. It's, It's like 2/3 of the way through, but yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
But it was really cool. And holy shit. What's that actor's name? Emma Darcy?
Mm-hmm.
They are fucking incredible. With 4 words of dialogue, they still command the scene, like the scenes that they're in. Just how powerful of an actor they are is crazy.
I do have one complaint.
Yeah? What is it?
Not about them or anyone really. But there's a part where uh, when they find, okay, can I say her just because the character is a her in the show?
Yes, if we're talking
Yeah,
about Emma, we should stick
yeah.
to their
Okay,
pronouns. But Rhaenyra
is
is
a her. Yeah.
is female
So
presenting. So yeah,
when Rhaenyra finds her son's dragon and whatever, uh, when she jumps off of her dragon, it was so poorly animated. It was bad. It was very much like
I didn't even
Legolas.
notice.
It was very much Legolas sliding down the trunk of the fucking
Xbox
fucking
360 graphics up in there.
whatever. Yeah, I was just like, oh, that was bad. But then
Well,
like
I
the
didn't notice
scene
it.
that followed was that was super powerful. But yeah, just her getting off of the dragon and like jumping on the ground, I was like, "Pff, that was rough. Yeah.
Now I have to go back just for
Yeah.
that scene.
It literally
It's not just
was
for that
as
scene.
bad as Legolas surfing down the trunk of the giant elephant or whatever the hell.
Elephant, you know the
Elephant.
Timothy.
Yeah.
Uh,
I
sorry, bad joke. Not
thought
a
it was
bad
funny.
joke. It was fucking hilarious. I'm funny. We're funny. Um, but along the lines of of that scene with
Yeah.
Rhaenyra,
Those scene was good.
I meant to say those scenes, but fuck you. Uh, there's like first off, just on the surface, the scene is really powerful because it's Rhaenyra finding the the wing of Lucerys or Luke, her son's wing has been washed up on shore, and like some of his cloak and armor are still like wrapped up in the wing in the fishnets. Very emotional how she reacts. She screams out in pain. She's in mourning. Powerful alone. This wasn't something that I put together, so I don't want to take credit for it. But I did see online someone pointed out that Rhaenyra's dragon, Syrax, was is the mother or was the mother of Arax, which was Luke's dragon. And early on in season one, when Rhaenyra is giving birth to uh, Luke, it keeps cutting back to her dragon, Syrax, like roaring out like in pain because they're connected.
Skirt.
Being what?
Said skirt.
Yes. Want to know how I know? Uh,
We're connected.
but it keeps like kind of jumping between both of them, showing emotion and pain at like through birth. And then Luke's dragon is the child of Syrax, who also dies. So like not only when Rhaenyra is screaming out in pain on this beachfront, seeing the remains of her child and his dragon, Syrax is also roaring, and it's like, oh my god, that's so cool because the dragon is like mourning with Rhaenyra, but also Syrax is mourning the death of its own child, Arax. So it's really cool. Once I saw that online, I was like, that makes that scene so much more.
Yeah. I also saw something I shared with you before we started recording, but there's like I don't want to dwell on it too much because it was probably some bullshit, but if you slow down the video of the season one finale when Luke gets killed,
Mm-hmm.
you see like the remains of the dragon and Luke falling through the sky, and you can see Luke is still like whole. He didn't get like swallowed by what's that dragon's name?
Vagar.
Vagar. He's like free falling, free falling, and and his and his dragon kind of swoops him up as it's like falling through the clouds, and so somebody had slowed it down and pointed it out and was like, "Is there like a chance Luke is alive?" And so I have two things to say about this. One is no.
He dead. Like
The
OMG
book
dead.
the book says he's dead. The other thing I would say is that this is, was it R.R. Martin or whatever the fuck his
George
name is? That
George R. loves feet and boobs and
yeah,
dong.
had
Martin.
he fucking with the Game of Thrones series, they went so far off what the books actually were that maybe,
I
maybe.
hope not.
I hope not either, but maybe.
I mean, in the first 6 seasons, which cover up to the first 6 books, there were some changes, but a lot of the story was the big points were still there. So I'm hoping not, because now he's more involved in this, which is also pissing off the fans of the books because they're like, finish the fucking books,
Yeah.
and he's like, I get paid more to do this, so no.
Yeah.
Uh,
Money is better.
yeah. Um, I really hope not.
No.
And also, like, back to that like connection between the dragon and the dragon's rider. I mean, you made this joke off camera when I pointed out that uh, correlation between Syrax and Arax, and you're like, oh, how to train a dragon of them to do
Oh
that.
yeah. To catch him and like yeah.
Yeah, and just I'm injured, but I'm going to try and save the rider as best as possible. But they plummet how many thousands of feet from the
Hmm.
clouds into the ocean, and now you're wrapped up in a dying dragon underwater.
Half of a dying they was split in half.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So,
it's just an interesting video because you do see it grab him out of the air and then fall.
yeah,
It's that's not made up. Like that actually
that
happened.
part is not made
So
up.
yeah.
I just think that
So
it just shows the importance of
the bond.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh,
with those of the
Now I
house
hate
of
myself. That was
dragon.
very Avatar of me. Make the bond.
Oh, with the James Cameron Avatar. I was like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
what airbender fucking shenanigans are you trying to pull here? I don't know what you're talking about, friend.
I'm not your friend, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
I'm not your pal guy.
I'm not your guy, friend.
I'm not your buddy, pal.
I'm not your pal, friend. Uh, huzzah!
It's
Same show.
uh well, let's talk about like the most well we already said the Rhaenyra's 4 lines, 4 words, sorry, 1 line, 4 words. Um
I love
it
you, baby.
she says, I want Aegon. Aegon? Targaryen?
Amond.
Aemon.
Because
Fuck.
Aegon's
Their
the one
names are
actually
so
on,
fucking familiar.
and
All their names are like,
every generation there's a
yeah.
new one with the same name.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah. She says she wants him like bad. And and something really bad happens after that. Spoiler alert if we forgot to say that, which we
We
did for
did.
sure. Sorry.
We 100% did. But if
Something real bad happens.
it's like real bad.
Yeah.
But if you're on the internet, if you've been trying to avoid spoilers,
You've come to the wrong place.
well, yeah, but you've at least seen things about is it blood and cheese or cheese and blood?
Blood and cheese.
Blood and cheese.
Bloody cheese.
What a gross combination of words to describe how fucked up this was. Um,
What? What?
you made a
Had,
face.
had an itch.
Spider bite. Um,
Got it.
but so Rhaenyra is like, I want Aemon Targaryen, and Daemon was like, bet. He put on his murder hoodie, marched on the Jedi Temple. His eyes were yellow. Found a room of children. Oh my god, it's the same thing. No,
Only he
but
didn't do it himself. Yeah.
yeah, he hires some people to go and trying to get Amond.
Hmm.
Doesn't go well.
But I have to rewatch it because I did see something that said that um in that scene where he gives the order, because he does say like uh
He's got
Aemon Targaryen,
silver
he's got
hair,
an
missing an eye.
eye patch, easy, not hard to miss, like blah blah blah. But then he says, apparently, I have to rewatch it. Apparently, he says, if you can't find Aemond, and then gives a look, meaning
Oh,
like
yeah,
kill one of them.
yeah, a son
Uh,
for a son.
yeah, and it's pretty gnarly. It was they did some stuff that they didn't need to do. They
Like
didn't
kicking
need
a
to do.
dog.
Yeah, I mean, why'd they bring? I don't understand why they brought the dog. Is there a reason for the dog being there? He like carried the dog through the sewer, and then the dog
And
like
then
barked or something like that, and then he kicked it, and
well,
then the
and then
dog
they
ran away,
carried
and I
it
was like,
up the well,
ladder.
the entire thing was that the cheese personality in this Blood and Cheese
Hmm.
was a rat catcher.
Hmm.
Um,
So the dog like catches rats, maybe.
yeah, it was like a Jack Russell Terrier. You know, that's
Yeah,
what
got
they
it,
were bred for.
got
And
it.
I think it was supposed to be like plausible deniability if they were to get caught. Be like, oh, we're trying to catch rats to
Hmm.
clear out the castle.
Got it. Okay.
But then they get like partway there, and the dog barks, and the actual rat catcher was like, I'm not supposed to go upstairs. Like, they have me catch the rats in the sewers. And then the other dude was like, you're fucking taking me up there, or I'll kill you, and I'll go by myself. Or you can come with me. And then the dog barks, and then the dude just boots the dog. And it's like,
Yeah.
you just like ruined your best like excuse for
Yeah.
being there by kicking the dog into the abyss.
Kick my dog.
I'm not gonna do that on
He
recording.
did, he did nothing to you. Um. Well, and then some really bad stuff happens. This is what we're
Yeah,
talking about. I mean, they kind of skulk around for like a minute or two, whatever, and
they
then
didn't
they're
try
like,
very
"Yeah,
hard to find Eamon.
we can't find anybody," and they wander into a room
Helena's room, the the queen.
with her two children, boy and a girl, and they get
They
very
break
aggressively kill one of them.
they break the cage and they get this.
It was
It was it was a
just fucked up.
especially you always say when it comes to like horror films, like when there's like a monster or anything like that, what makes it scary is when you don't see it.
Hmm.
That's how this scene plays out. They're like, there's two children, and they threaten her. They're like, which one's the boy? And she points because this is now the heir to the throne because she's married to her brother Aegon.
Hmm.
And they're like, "Oh, she's lying." But then one of the dudes looks her in the eyes, and you can just see the terror. And he's like, "No, she's not lying. It's that one." And throughout the rest of the scene, it it's the camera is facing her, but
Yeah, it's in the background for sure.
you hear serrated knives.
And see a lot of like
Yeah,
this,
like in the
like in
background.
the
Yeah,
like a blurred background of like sawing motion, and
yeah.
yeah, they're cutting that little kid's head off. And the really like really saddest part about it is they like put their hand over his mouth, but through like a muffled like he's saying like, "Mom, help me."
Yeah.
Like it's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. Yeah. And they just amplified the fucked up by like adding the noise.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and it's like,
she
why?
grabs the daughter and runs down the hall
Ugh,
to Allison's
this
room.
fucking guy. This fucking guy. Both of them.
Yeah.
Fuck them both. Oh yeah, whatever. Go
Hypocrites.
ahead. Go ahead.
Just hypocrites, like, but Helena is so dissociated at this point in process.
Dissociated from the get-go, but yeah.
Well, yeah, because they're hinting that like she's a seer, but
Hmm.
yeah, um,
Oh,
this
did you see
this
the
is
thing I sent you?
yeah about
Okay. Yeah.
her scratching into the wall of a man with a
Man
wolf's
with a
head,
wolf head.
like she saw the
Rob
red wedding.
Stark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the reason that the rat catcher was brought in the first place was very early in the episode when she looked scared. And Aegon's like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, "I'm scared of the rats."
Hmm.
And so they bring in this rat catcher that now, like, she
Uh,
doesn't fully understand her visions.
she manifested that shit.
Kind of. It's like,
Anyways, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
oh, but she runs into her mom's room. Allison, the matriarch of House Green, which is so far very much on the wrong side. Um, and yeah, she's just getting boned by Sir Christian Cole.
I think she's kind of boning Sir Christian Cole. He was
Well,
on. He was a bottom.
yeah,
He was on
she was riding.
which is, I mean, on point for his character.
Yeah.
He's the fucking worst.
Not
That's why
saying
I did.
that,
I was
not
like,
saying
oh,
that, not
these
saying
two.
that being a bottom is bad, if that's what you are. But Sir Christian Cole is bad and a bottom.
Bad
Just
bottom.
just wanted to clarify.
Um, yeah. But the reason this is so upsetting is that um he is in charge of protecting her and her kids.
Yeah, the queen and her
And
kids. So
and
Helena,
he wasn't because he was having sex with
Allison.
Alicent. So
And
they
it's
died
even more upsetting because
because of
earlier
that.
in the episode, he's definitely just like munching on some carpet of the
Mm,
Allison varietal. And then when it's done, she's like, "This can never happen again." And then, like the next day,
he
she,
break a cage
and he
and he
get
get
this.
this. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. So they
I'm
suck. They're the
just gonna
worst.
say, I think Allison's hot.
Yeah. No, not. Is it Cook? Olivia Cook? No.
Olivia Cook, yeah.
Yeah, it is Olivia Cook. Okay, yeah. Yeah, she was in Bates Motel back in the day. I watched that show and I really
Oh,
liked it.
with Freddie Highmore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in that show and yeah, she's always been really pretty. I didn't realize that was her until maybe like a week ago and I was like, "Oh shit." But yeah. Anyways, yeah, she sucks though. So it's kind of whatever.
Layup was missed. Okay.
Oh, she's hot. You
Yeah.
got it.
We
Speaking of hot,
I love when we do that almost more than when we take the perfect layup.
uh, speaking of hot, we're gonna talk about Crybaby Craig's hot sauce. It's a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. If you listen up, I'll tell you more about it.
Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. Okay, nerds, it's time for some trivial nerd suit. So this question this week is for Jake and is provided by moi. Yeah, if you'd like to submit a question to try and stump one of us, maybe win some prizes if you do so, please reach out to us over on our website over at www.allthingsnerdpod.com. Use our contact form. It goes to a third party, so we can't cheat. If you stump us, you might win some shit. Jake, are you ready?
Yeah.
I was scared for a second that you froze.
I know. I was doing that on purpose.
But then I saw you blink, and I was like, Jake, are you ready?
They're starting to hurt. All right, go.
Okay, I'm throwing the question in the chat so that you can see it. Okay, sent. Do you have it in front of you?
I think so. Yeah.
Cool. So the question for you this week is, this Marvel villain in the comics started out as the leader of the Savage Crims before killing 2 people and fleeing to Taskmaster's crime academy. They are a skilled military tactician and a hand-to-hand combat expert. And in some iterations, they have mechanical gauntlets to give them their enhanced strength. Having served for either Hydra or the Red Skull in comics and movies, they present challenges for Wolverine, Daredevil, Bucky Barnes, and Captain America, and have even killed Wonder Man. Who is this villain?
Crossbones.
Fucking hate you. So mad. I thought by going more off of their comic background.
If you had left the gauntlets out of it, that would have been really hard. I still think I would have got there through the Hydra, Wolverine, Daredevil, and Bucky Barnes and Captain America. I still think I would have got it, but the
Just not
gauntlets
as
gave it
quickly.
away.
God, shit.
It was a good question, though.
Just for the fun of it, you want to know what the hint was?
You did type a fucking lot.
Yeah, sorry.
Anyway, what was that? The hint? Go for it.
The hint was his name comes from the traditional pirate Jolly Roger. Skull and
Oh, that
crossbones.
changes my answer. No, I'm just kidding.
Shit. Well, for our listeners,
It was a good question. It was a good question. I thought it was good. Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thanks for patting my ego, even though I failed.
Didn't I fail last week?
I don't remember what your question was last week, but
I don't either.
sweet.
I feel like you got it, though. No, you didn't get it. It was a Spider-Man question.
Oh, yeah. I did
Yeah.
not get it. And I don't remember what the answer was either. It's been
What's
a
that?
week. Just repeat the question next week. Again, if our listeners want to try and stump us, use our contact form at allthingsnerdpod.com. Just say who the question is for. And then if you can stump us, you might win some stuff. Whether it's a goodie bag or a t-shirt or who knows. It depends on how long it goes before someone stumps us. Nerd news? Nerd news.
Dude, we have the best nerd news.
Best for us and our listeners, at least.
Yeah. Yeah. We are hosting a booth at Minneapolis Comic-Con. Or is it just Minneapolis Con?
Twin Cities Con.
Twin Cities Con. Fuck. Shit.
It's in Minneapolis. And it is a Comic-Con. So you weren't wrong.
Yeah, Twin Cities Con. We will be there. We're hosting. We're not hosting. But we have we bought a table. We're gonna be there. We're gonna be selling shit. We're gonna be doing trivia questions. We're gonna be drinking. We're gonna be live streaming. We're going to be giving shit away. If any of you are interested, and we are going to badger the fuck out of you between now and November, get your asses there and come hang out with us. Please make us relevant.
Yeah. And also, if you are there and want to hang out at the table for a little bit, more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, like I said,
let's party. Let's
we'll
have a good
have
time.
some booze. If you guys want to come take a shot with us, because that's what we do on this podcast. Uh,
Yeah.
we'll take a video or picture or whatever, and we'll do one with you. Just come visit us, please, please,
Yeah. We'll be
please.
we'll have a table. We're gonna be chilling all
It's
weekend.
very
It's not
it's
just like
very
a day.
exciting because we went there. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, we went there as fans. And now 2 years later, we are.
Having our own booth, our own spot.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
It's gonna be good. And based on what we know so far, we haven't gotten the final floor plan yet, but I think we're gonna be in the thick of it. Like we're gonna be like middle
Yeah,
of the room, so not like on the far edges.
yeah. Edging sucks. And
Well, it depends on who you ask.
but we'll be, I mean, we're gonna be like aggressively flagging people down. But if you know us and you're like, hey, I know those guys, please, please, please come visit us. It would mean so much to us.
Yeah,
I don't give, even if you don't buy anything, it's whatever. Like we don't,
just come
that's
say
not what
hi.
this is about.
Come say
Yeah,
hi. Take
please,
a picture.
yeah, come take a picture with us that we can post content about and have a shot with us or a drink, shake our hands, give us a hug, whatever. We don't care. We just want to see you support us.
Yeah. We will be in public, so you cannot hawk to. But sorry, that might have crossed the line. I apologize in advance. I still think it was funny, but just inappropriate. But yeah, come say hi. We'll be there all weekend. It's November 8th through November 10th.
Yeah, we're there all 3 days. So
Yeah. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff. If we run out of stuff, I mean that's a good problem to have. But we'll also have you can still order stuff and we'll ship it directly to you.
Okay.
And then you don't have to carry shit around, which is pretty cool.
but we may have something to help you carry shit around. So come see us.
Yeah. Oh. Now let's get into something sad.
Oh yeah.
When I first wrote out the notes, this was the
Wrong.
first thing, and I was like, ah, shit. I forgot, like, the most exciting thing of news that we have. Let's throw that in there first.
Wrong, Donald.
Wrong, Donald.
Wrong,
100%. We lost Donald Sutherland this year. This week.
Should have been Donald Duck. Or sorry, Donald something.
Drumpf, which was the original family name.
For real.
Yeah, for real. Drumpf. Yeah. 100%. That's facts. You can look that up. But yeah, Donald Sutherland did pass away at the age of 88 this past
That's a
week.
good life. 88's pretty solid.
Plus the things that he's been in, from goofy random ass shit like Beer Fest to being a part of a major young adult franchise such as the Hunger Games and so much. I mean, you may not recognize the name, but you recognize the face.
Mm-hmm.
He's been in something that everyone has seen. I can almost guarantee that.
Yeah. We
So,
love you, dude. We love you.
and
Appreciate your
condolences
craft
to your
and your
families.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll be missed. One of the good ones.
We appreciate your contribution to the art that we love.
It's a nice way of saying that. Back to some more uplifting news.
In other news,
Yeah.
well, I feel so dirty doing it that way. It's so gross.
We don't know how to do that.
Yeah.
How to
Oh,
give commemoration to people that contribute to what we love, and then get
Oh,
back
you do this one.
into.
I want to do the next one.
Okay,
You do
yeah.
this one.
We got a new trailer for The Penguin coming out on Max this September. Colin Farrell is reprising his role as Oswald Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, aka Winnie the Bish. But in all honesty, the show looks awesome. I mean, we get Clancy Brown in the trailer as Salvatore Maroni,
Mm.
Kristen Milioti as the daughter, one of the daughters and family members of Falcone from the Batman universe. And this is it also directed by Matt Reeves or just produced and written?
That's a good question. I'm not
I
100%
didn't
sure on
check
that.
that. I know
I
that
would it
Matt Reeves
says
is
from Matt
heavily,
Reeves, yeah,
yeah.
but yeah.
It
I
looks
imagine
awesome,
so, but
and it
it does look awesome. If we don't get at least, I know that we talked about this a while ago about the chances of us actually seeing Pattinson, Battinson, whatever you call him, in this, and it was looking like slim to none because of like rights and weird shit like that. But if we don't at least get something, maybe even just like the bat signal, you know what I mean?
the Bat
Like
Signal or Andy
something.
Serkis showing up as Alfred. Yeah, just something that ties it closer to Matt Reeves
Well,
Batman
they did
story.
say in the trailer, like they showed like the flood and all that. Well, I guess they didn't reference Batman. They reference
The Riddler.
Riddler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as long as there's uh if it's not going to be Robert Pattinson, like getting Andy Serkis as Alfred, um, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon,
Something.
you know,
Yeah.
just to tie it back a little bit more than just references in dialogue would
Hmm.
be awesome. But it looks awesome.
It does look good.
Talk about
The
this a bit
other
more.
one, this is the one that I wanted to talk about is we won't spend much time on it, but Kit Harington's new movie coming out. It's called The Beast Within. If you thought it was about a werewolf, you would be right. Uh, it's pretty. Well, when you say The Beast Within, I immediately, that's what drew me to the trailer. I was like, oh, is this like a werewolf movie or something like that? And I clicked on it, and then it absolutely is. And it
Yeah,
looks fucking crazy, dude. I'm super excited about
yeah.
this. I love that shit. And I love Kit Harington. So, I'm all about this. It looks dope. It looks gritty. It looks like I mean, it's going to theaters, but it looks like almost like a IFC kind of like independent film, but
Yeah.
it really looks fucking gnarly, dude. Go watch the trailer online. Again, it's called The Beast Within. And there's a little bit of a ramp up, but the end of the trailer, the last like 20, 30 seconds of the trailer, you're like, oh shit, okay, you know?
To the
Uh,
point where there might be some like body gore in it
yeah,
also.
it looks dope. I'm stoked about this. I want to see it real bad.
Yeah. We also got a trailer for season 2 of The Rings of Power on Amazon Prime.
Good job.
Only because your microphone did not pick up the actual kacha. Need it.
Damn it. I should have like
Kacha. But, I mean, loved the first season of it, of The Rings of Power, and getting to. I don't know how far that the show is gonna go. Uh,
Yeah, they kind of by the end of this trailer, they kind of show like what we know already.
Yeah, because
Right? Am I wrong? Am
you're
I
gonna
wrong,
tell me that
bro?
I'm wrong, bro.
Am I fucking wrong?
Yeah, that's where I'm curious about where this show is gonna go. Um, but I'm still excited for it.
Well, isn't there also like a prequel movie in the works about the War of like Man and like
No, it's like uh, fuck, it. Like the hunt for Gollum or something like that.
no, I thought there was something coming out where it's gonna like the war that they show where Sauron gets his fucking hand chopped off or whatever, his finger chopped off. Like they're gonna like there's like a movie or maybe it's a series, I don't know, that's gonna show that war that was only referenced in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, something about the Rohirrim. It's gonna be animated, I think. I don't know if it's gonna be a movie
Oh,
or a
that's a bummer.
series.
I was gonna say it'd be cool if this show just like led up to that and then
Oh,
but
that'd be fucking rad.
that would be fucking rad. But
Hmm. I mean, the show still might, but
oh yeah, okay, cool. I didn't know
yeah.
what we were talking about. You didn't tell me that we were talking about this.
No, I
Okay.
just as I went through like our messages before
Well,
writing up the notes.
there's two Smallville things we can talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do
And then that kind of like
the
segues
red and blue
into
one, the last one. Yeah.
yeah. So, well, I'll do
You can do them both. I don't give a shit.
yeah, all right, whatever. So, we all know, and if you listen to this podcast, we really all know that I am a Smallville fan. I mean,
You are a Smallville stan at this point
yeah,
in time.
it's too far away, but if you look right there, I have a picture of Tom Welling as Superman or Clark Kent ripping his shirt open with the Superman symbol under it, signed by Tom Welling that says, "Thanks, Jake Peters." It's a real thing, and I also have the video on my Instagram of him
Signing it.
signing it and addressing me directly, which is really cool. Uh, anyways, I'm a huge Smallville fan. I think I've turned you into a pretty big Smallville fan. Probably not as big as me, but you're watching it
That's
right
a
now
fair
again
assessment.
for
Yeah.
like the probably like third
Third
time.
time, yeah.
Yeah. So this is great. There's a couple different things. One is something that I never noticed before, and I can't take credit for it. Somebody else pointed it out online, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!" And I sent it to Chad. Is that in season one, there's a part where there's like a clairvoyant old lady who can see the future, and she basically touches Clark's hand and whatever, and she kind of sees his future, and she's like, "You're gonna do all these amazing things, blah blah blah." And later on, she touches Lex's hand, and it shows Lex with the black glove on, the Michael Jackson glove on, in a white suit.
Well, the reverse Michael Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But he had one glove on because he was a clone, and they do tie that in the final season, which is dope. But and it's just starts raining blood, and there's missiles launching in the background, and blah 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 because he is a piece of shit. But in the on the ground in this cornfield, you see all these corpses or like skeletons, and w- there's a I almost said gold ring. I'm stupid. A green ring laying on the ground. They also show Batman. Batman's skeleton. He's in his cowl still. Um, and that's fucking dope. I never knew that. And I've been watching this show since it came out. I was in like middle school
Yeah.
and I never noticed it. And I've rewatched the show like a million times and I never noticed it. So it's fucking dope.
And supposedly, in that you're supposed to be able to see Wonder Woman's shield. In the video that you sent me, like it focuses on the Green Lantern ring and Batman's
Batman's
cowl,
cowl.
but they mentioned that Wonder Woman's shield is there,
Yep.
and Martian Manhunter's like elongated skull
Yeah.
is supposed to
I'll
be in
have,
there
like I
too.
said, I'll have to go back and rewatch it, which is not a problem for me at all.
Let's fucking
So,
go.
but that's really cool. And then the a very cool thing, we know that they like to leave in, and this is going to kind of go into our next topic. But we know that in the boys they like to leave Easter eggs. So far, most of those Easter eggs have been supernatural, like the show Supernatural. But they have made some fun tie-ins, and one of them was Homelander wearing Tom Welling's, aka Superman, aka Winnie the Bish, Superman, his classic like red t-shirt with like a blue Carhartt over
Yeah.
it, which I thought was fucking dope.
Yeah.
It's a very small detail, and was it intentional? I think so, just because it is Eric Kripke is a CW um
Goat at this
right,
point in time.
creator from
Yeah.
Supernatural and shit like that, and Jensen Ackles was in Smallville, so I think it was 100% done deliberately, and I think that's dope.
Yeah. And also just the entire purpose of the boys is to be almost like a real world. What if there were superhumans?
Mhm.
They'd be somewhere between celebrities and pop icons and politicians, and that's exactly where the show is going with it. I mean, and the graphic novels. Like, this isn't new, which makes some of the complaints about it hilarious. Um, yeah, I'm stoked for it. I'm excited and have a lot of energy about the show. You didn't lay me up, so I had to make something
I
up.
thought about it, and then I was like, whatever, just go.
Well, something else that gives me energy sometimes
A little hook
is
to a.
yeah, but when that's not available,
Who is she?
I turn to Ray's energy drinks. Great energy drink with 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 crash. Lots of great flavors. If you don't like energy drinks, they've got all kinds of other options for you. You know, protein packed desserts, plant based supplements, all that good stuff. So listen up, learn how to save 15%. We'll be right back with you to talk more about the boys. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with 0 crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high-quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance-enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you. Okay, friends, now we're going to continue talking about The Boys, Season 4. Spoiler alert, we're going to touch base on episodes 3 and 4 for this one. So if you haven't watched it yet, pause, come back. Please come back. But that's enough time. The show's so rad. I love the amount of people that are mad at season 4 because they're like, wait, they're making fun of us, and it's like, where the
Yeah.
fuck have you
I was
been?
like, the only people that are mad are the people that are mega.
Finally catching on.
Yeah. Which it just goes to show how dumb they fucking are because they've been making fun of them since the beginning. And they're
Yeah,
4 years later only just now realizing it.
yeah, because now that they showed basically a MAGA convention. They're like, wait, I've been to that. Oh my
Yeah.
god, they're making fun of us. These conspiracy theories I believe in.
Ugh.
It's hilarious. It really
I
is.
mean, yeah. You guys are really
It's also
smart.
very sad that like people
Oh.
are that dumb, and have so much control in a lot of this country. Ugh, I depressed myself. Please take over. I need a moment. I need a moment.
Well, I think one of the cool things about the last episode before episode 3 is A Train. We see A Train secretly spending time with his nephew. And his nephew's dad shows up, aka A Train's brother, who is now in a wheelchair and is like, this dude hasn't saved anybody. All of his saves have been fake. He's a piece of shit. Like none of it's real. Blah 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 blah. When at the towards the end of this episode, Homelander catches Huey spying on him and is trying to murder him. Ends up
Well, he's
murdering a
have
bunch of other people by accident,
yeah,
but uh,
the
well,
Homelander
by
Jesus on
by
ice.
accident, yeah. But A Train saves him,
Hmm.
which is pretty sweet because the episode before that, which we talked about last week, A Train gives them some information, and they're like, "Why are you doing this?" And he's like, "Pew," and like takes off, you know.
Yeah.
And now he's saved Huey in episode 3, which he didn't have to do. And I think that we're finally, I think through this is the comparison I kind of want to make is through experiencing it himself. In the very first season, A Train kills by accident, but didn't really care, kills Huey's girlfriend at the time, right?
Yeah. Kills Robin. Yeah.
Just obliterates her, right? And then in season had to have been 3, A Train's brother got paralyzed and somebody else got killed from a soup. So I think that A Train's feeling that. He's like feeling like that responsibility, like holy shit, like we have to take responsibility for our actions
It's
with
almost
great
like with great
power.
power. God damn it.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck you. I took it first. Uh, but I think he's feeling that right now. So now that I think now he's realizing what he's actually done to Huey, and that's why he's helping Huey right now, which is fucking dope. It's a
Plus,
redemption story. I
eh,
fully believe he's gonna die at the end of this season because
oh,
of it,
I'm
but
sure.
yeah.
But also, was it it was partway through season 3, uh, when Homelander kind of takes over Vought, or it might be the end of season 2 going into season 3. Um, and A Train is feeling like that. Oh, it's just about optics and not how awesome we actually are because we're
Mhm.
more than just cameras and likes and shit like that. Um, I feel like that's playing a huge role into it too. Plus, Huey had the opportunity during Herogasm, which fucking wild episode, and is like scratching the surface as to how graphic that was in the comics. Um, yeah. Hey there, little guy. Oh my god, you're like 3 blocks away. Weird. Um, but I think that that's also playing a role into it because Huey had an opportunity to fuck up A Train and just kind of like hits him once.
Mhm.
Grant, he was on V24, but I think that also like awoke something in A Train because then he murdered that other soup that was being racist
Mm-hmm.
and a bit rapey. Um,
Yeah. Ah, he just took him for a walk, a little
yeah,
jog.
yeah. With instead of using his shoes to walk, he used his face.
Yeah,
Uh, common
that's how they do
common
it sometimes.
mistake. I hear that they do that in different parts of the country. Um, but yeah, I think that that's also playing a role into A Train's like redemption, like you said, and I'm here for it. I hate that inevitably means that A Train will die because I would like to see like a full completion of that arc to where his brother
Yeah,
is proud of him, his nephews are proud
I
of him.
think that'll be where it like goes though, because right now the like people, not all the people, but people are just eating up this fucking the seven bullshit, right?
Yeah,
It's a little similar. I don't know if you live in the United States or not, but we got a
most of
little
our
bit of that
listeners
going
are.
on right now. Uh, is eating up all this bullshit, right? And I think that A Train he'll have like his redemption story, right?
Hmm.
But he's gonna die
Yeah,
by Homeland. Obviously, Homelander is gonna be the one to kill him.
yeah.
But it's gonna not only are the other boys like the Deep and shit like that, I think that are gonna turn against Homelander, but it's also gonna turn like the people against Homelander eventually.
You can
I
hope.
al I also think Huey's gonna die. I think that's gonna be. I think I mentioned it last week, but I think that because they're kind of building it up that it's gonna be Butcher that dies. I don't think. I think it's gonna be Butcher is like now. I'm getting into the next episode, so I don't want to give too much away. We get into it in a second, but we know that there's some stuff going on with him. I don't think Butcher's actually dying,
Oh,
which
that's
is
gonna
what
be
he's very much
such a
preparing for.
bummer.
I think it's going to be Huey, and it's what's going to push all of the boys like over the edge is because he's just like this he's like this sweet kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's like the
He's not
idealist.
like any of them.
Yeah,
He's like this nice kid, keeps all of them in check, and I think he's gonna end up being like the tipping point. And that
I
would probably be like the season finale maybe of this season, or
yeah, because then we'll
maybe
get one more season.
only one more
Because
season.
we
Yeah. So,
we learned that season 5 will be the final.
mm, I think Huey's gonna die. Not Carl Urban, or sorry, Butcher. I think they're trying to make you think it's going to be Butcher, but it's going to actually be Huey.
I don't know if I should say this then, because I kind of ruined something for myself by looking at. Do you
We
want?
said spoiler. Yeah, go for it. We
Okay.
said spoiler alert. I don't give a
Well,
shit.
this might be a spoiler for you,
I still enjoy the show.
because in the graphic novel, uh, Butcher kills Homelander, kills a bunch of the soups, and then
Rightfully so.
yeah, but he's not like satisfied, so he just kind of like tries to continue pushing power because we learn in episode 4 of this that he took just compound V, not V24,
Like this straight up.
and
Yeah.
now he's like blacking out, doesn't understand what sort
Has
of
like a worm swimming in his face.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is also weird. I'm wondering where they're going to go with that because that deviates from the graphic novel. But Butcher kind of goes off the rails after he kills like the main soups and is like, all soups must die. And then Huey is the one that has to kill him.
That'd be dope.
Huey is the one that ends up killing him in the graphic novel.
I'd be
Um,
okay with that. But also in the comics, isn't I think I mentioned this last week too, is that so you said that Butcher kills Homelander, but in a different and I guess I haven't read all of them, so I have no fucking clue. But the new Black Noir is a clone of Homelander, and he's who kills Homelander. So I don't know.
I think I misspoke a moment ago. Like Butcher just kind of like completes his mission of making sure that the Seven is no more.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not so much that he's the one that gets to finish off Homelander or anything like that, but
Oh, you mean like hook Toa and spit on that thing, finish him off, or
no, more like just a very dry, you know,
yeah,
no
mm,
hook to it involved.
no.
Um,
Dry rub.
yo, Jamaican jerk seasoning is phenomenal. Don't don't hate on that dry that dry rub. Um, you're welcome. It's not very often that I get you to break that hard during an episode.
Always hard when you get me to break.
Uh,
Good shot.
so,
Back at you.
sorry, mom. Well, sorry, Jake's mom.
Anyways,
My mom definitely doesn't listen anymore.
no, my mom doesn't either. I think it
Fantastic.
was like when we started doing the Sorry Mom, my mom was like, I'm out.
Same. Oh, well, my mom gave up after 2 episodes, and she's like, I'll wear a T-shirt and talk proudly."
Yeah, she was like, he's brown? No, I'm done.
Let's not air out that laundry here. you know.
Done. It's too late.
No, but I think that it'll come down. I think that the series finale. I think it would be wrong for them to not at least end the same way if they change things and
Yeah.
instead of having Herogasm take place in the past, they did it where Huey and Butcher are there. I think it would be a discredit, especially with how active Garth Ennis and the original illustrator was. I feel bad for not remembering the original illustrator because we love Russ Braun so much that I forgot who was the original guy. Um, I think that if they don't end the series that closely, where it comes down to that final showdown, then
You know, it's the final showdown. Bam, 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 bam.
noodle meep meep, noodle meep meep moo.
But one of the cool things is at the very end of this episode, oh, there's like a couple things I really want to. Just the deranged murder sequence with Homelander. Brutal.
Well, before we get to that, talk about the thing you wanted to talk about with the
Well,
mirror,
with the what?
with the
That
mirror.
wasn't, yeah, yeah, no, the mirror. I got it. Well, let me just like block my face while I'm trying to make points here for YouTube. Yeah, there's like a part where I don't remember if it was in this episode. Whatever. Uh,
This is in episode
Home
3 at the very least. But
Homelander gets pissed, breaks a mirror, and it like splits into like a bunch of different pieces, and you can see like different emotions on each, which I think is just showing that how fractured uh Homelander's personality is,
yeah,
which is kind of cool.
it's a bit on the inside out nose, but sorry, I'm sorry, but it's done well, and it definitely gets the point across.
Yeah.
And so he goes home. he goes to the bunker that he was raised in.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
To the point where I was watching it with Nicole last night, and she has a pretty good tolerance just from being with me for this kind of shit. And she was like, "The show's getting kind of hard to watch for me." And I was like, "Man,
I get it. I mean, I get it, but like,
don't be such a bitch about it." You know?
Jesus Christ, that is the mother of your child. Sorry, science Christ. Uh,
No, it was pretty
it was wild.
it's a little upsetting. Visually, you're like we have to because we like to watch our shows, but we also have a child. So like when we're watching shows like this, we're like Cal's looking this way. So Cal's there facing that way. And we're like, "Don't look. Don't look. Don't look." And like keeping him from like seeing what's happening on screen like and yeah, that
Get him some blue blockers. You know,
oh
like,
yes, it doesn't look like blood.
well, and then just Sharpie over the front part. But like $3 at Walmart, you can get some blue blockers and just like
This is brutal. I mean,
super glue some
he
aluminum foil.
murders, he toys with and murders everybody that had anything to do with his childhood. Um, I mean, he burns somebody alive. He
Because while they were trying to burn him, they were playing uh throwing garbage into a
yeah,
wastebasket across the room.
he like lasers a guy's dick off and then stomps on his head. And then the most brutal part of it, go for it, you do it.
When like I guess the manager, the overseer of that bunker finally shows up, and then forces her into that room where he grew up, and then brings everyone else in there, murders all of them, and then locks her in the room with their.
Doesn't just murder them. He like rips them into pieces. There's like guts and limbs and just everywhere. And he locks her in there to die.
Yeah, and then leaves. And then that's where we get that scene from one of the trailers where he's alone in the elevator covered in blood and just starts laughing.
Yeah.
And
You
holy
you know what
shit.
though? I will say this. As deranged as he is, this episode kind of made me feel bad for him.
It was a weird sense of poetic justice for him.
Yeah, because it was like, because he goes in depth about like what they did to him, like, because Vought created him. They pretend
Yeah,
he's an whatever,
he was a
but
test tube baby, you know?
yeah, and they tortured him as a child. They burned him, they shot him, they did all this shit to see what he could withstand. Um, so and they kind of and he goes in depth about talking about that. He's like, yeah, like you said, he's like, you guys were burning my flesh, and he is like, but because my flesh didn't burn or char, whatever, he's like, my tears just evaporated, and uh, even though it didn't actually kill me, it hurt like hell. And while I was in there and you were out here, you guys were playing basketball with paper and a trash can. Uh,
Yeah.
so you kind of feel he's a fucking psychopath,
It
obviously, but you feel bad for him because, and like you said, poetic justice, they created him. They made him the monster that he is. It's
yeah,
their fault.
100%.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
cool. This show's fantastic.
it's so well written. Ugh. I think that we went a little bit
They got a little excited about the gore
more in
part of the.
depth to where we kind of gave you a summary. I mean, we definitely skipped some parts, alluded to some other parts, which is the goal because we want you to watch this.
Hmm.
So go watch it. do you have any final closing moment? Because there's an entire story about Huey and his dad,
Oh, that was the only thing was just the.
Starlight, and her past, especially with Huey, and
I was gonna say just the ending, like right before credits roll. Simon Pegg,
got compound V so that he wouldn't die.
which means that Huey's mom is real. Because I had said last week that maybe she
But we
wasn't.
don't see it, and his hands were no longer in his pockets. He was taking off his jacket when she walked in, so how would she know that there was something in his pocket? So your theory still might be real.
We'll
I
see.
don't think that Jeffrey Dean Morgan is the hallucination for Butcher anymore. I think it's his wife. Um,
I think they both are. I don't think Jeffrey Dean Morgan's character is
real at all.
actually there at all. No.
I'm okay with
Nobody
it.
else.
I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. Yeah. Just carry on, my wayward son. You know.
Get bent. Let's close out this episode, shall we?
But before we close out this episode, we do want to talk about our honorable mentions. Chad, what do you have?
So I watched a couple of things based on your recommendation, and I forgot to
Oh,
mention one from last week, which was A24's Civil War. And good God, is that movie fucking depressing?
that wasn't my recommendation.
That's the one that wasn't your recommendation.
Oh, I was like,
Um, it was A24 is known for having like, you know, underlined messages,
hmm.
and this was also a modern day retelling of Capo and Terra,
I was like, what's
Capo
happening
and
right now? But
Capo and
never
Terra.
mind.
But yeah, how quickly shit falls apart. Um, yeah, it was rough and depressing, and I was not okay after finishing that movie.
Hmm.
Very, very good, but definitely was not okay at the end of it. Um, and then I watched The Last Kiss finally, because you've been bugging me about it. And as much as I love Zach Braff for his movie making, uh, I've noticed a trend where he's just like the worst fucking person in every movie, but he makes himself so likable. It's almost like how art mimics life. Um, yeah, it was a bit of a bummer. Uh, Also, I think you overhyped how good of a movie it was.
No, I appropriately hyped it. That movie fucking kicks ass. I love that movie.
It was pretty good. Uh, I've seen better from Zach Braff,
He's
but
only got like fucking like four movies.
yeah, and Good People was so much better. But also, he wasn't in that one, so that might that might be a thing. And then I started watching Future Man. Uh, Fucking
That one
hilarious.
I'm proud of.
That one is so fucking funny. Uh, just with the first episode, just cum shots and also making fun of Back to the Future. Just mwah. Great, great show. I'm stoked to keep watching it. What do
Hmm.
you have for honorable mentions?
Um, I finished Dead Boy Detectives, which I thought was pretty good. Their depiction of hell is I told you a little bit about it off camera. Is insane. It was
Yeah,
fucking wild and weird, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
they like
Uh,
from what you
isn't
told
here.
me because I haven't gotten there. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
Is that they take that eternal torment and damnation
Yeah,
like to the
it was
max.
it was brutal. Yeah, it was bloody. It was cool. It was original. I really enjoyed that. And then The fuck did I say the other one was?
Just your bedtime routine. Because you have
Oh,
because you have a child. You know, like
well, yeah, we've just been kind of moseying our way through Modern Family again, which is fun.
great show.
Phil Dunphy is like who I aspire to be. But I think
Such
the
a
only
good
problem
dad.
is that I'm a fucking grump.
Yeah.
And he's like so optimistic, and I'm just such an asshole.
I'm glad you used the word optimistic because I was gonna say I think he's too optimistic for for you
Yeah.
in the
Same
nicest way.
haircut though.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah.
Well, for our listeners that stuck around this far, um, I mean, first off, if you have any need for,
Fuck.
yeah, if you have
That was
any,
just instinctual.
yeah, I noticed. If you have any need for like web design help with your marketing or anything like that, please reach out to Marty over at Digicat Tech. It's digicattech.com. He's a wizard. Also, if you like live play virtual tabletop RPGs, check out the Kobolds in the Basement podcast. It's a live play podcast that I host. Other than that, if you want to be a premium subscriber, go to buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd. If you don't want to give us a monthly subscription, but you still want to give us your money, that'd be super rad. So you can go to allthingsnerdpod.com. And if you don't want to do that, I mean, lame, but we get it. Just like, share, and subscribe. We love you all. Thank you for listening. We'll
Also,
see you at Comic-Con.
come see us at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Minneapolis Con.
Twin Cities Con. You got it.
November 8th through 11th. We will be there all 3 days. Find us when we get closer to... Shut the fuck up, Chad. When we get closer to this date, we'll tell you where we're going to be specifically so you can find us. But please, please, please come. We're going to bang this into your heads like your stepfather until this happens. So,
What
cheers.
are you doing, step bro?